Alright, so this is going to be a video showcasing how to use focus time correctly and a little bit of the tips and tricks and some of its features that may not be otherwise established and the very few descriptions that I'm creating of this on KVR and elsewhere. So let's begin from the beginning again. I was just recording, but I realized I didn't have my mic on, so we got to go all the way from scratch, but that's fine. So for the load wave, you can actually import multi-samples, so that is possible. That does work. And I'll demonstrate that right now. There's not like a key map, or I should import it and arrange it if you have the proper searching for the key to assign it in the file name itself, so it needs to be there. And let's talk now here about the parallel series and bed series and loop sends and all these other things, because it might be a little bit confusing what's going on here. So let's just trigger something from scratch here. So did you see how it took a little while for it actually to begin playing? I'll do that again. So it should be playing, hopefully, then. It might take a while for it to actually trigger the effects. You see the sample in the background, it's triggering that. And then when you click another one, it's re-triggering the same sample. So now there's two loops. Imagine like this on two single tracks. So it needs to be in sync, otherwise it's going to be, oh well, there's like the key right there. So it is there, but it's kind of hid. I gotta fix that, apparently. So I guess you can. As the whole time I was developing that, I've just been hidden there, but like whatever. So it does have a key map, I correct that. But, so you can, so the issue here with these launches, you can choose how quickly it'll launch, and it's going to line up and sync it up with like the part of where it's at in the loop, like 1/30th, 1/16. So the idea here is that the same sample will be triggering and it will not go out of sync. And I've had lots of issues with that when I first began. But since then I've added a loop sends mode, and this one is not triggering and layering multiple loops. Like if you have 13 of these, it's not going to be layering 13 of the loops. That's also why I have the Haas effect, because the Haas effects would essentially have a nice wide fat sound. When you have all of these, you need to actually layer, or you can fake it, but when you're layering these things, you can have an additional effect on that. But with loop sends, it's not necessary. It's treating every single one of these 13 effects as just a send that's being summed up into the bus. So it's not, these no longer become inserts with their own sample, they're just sends effects that's just summed up at the bus at the end. So there's still just one loop underneath everything, so then therefore we don't need to ever sync anything whatsoever. So this whole thing right there is kind of just like when's it's going to just play, I guess. Or when you click now, then that's the issue. So we're not solving any issues with this. So that's the preferred mode that I actually use it right now. Though I will say, when you click over to parallel and series, it does sound different. These are definitely worth keeping. They're definitely worth trying out. So sometimes the things sound fatter, thicker, lusher, and parallel, and all of these things. Bed series is kind of like, it's more complicated than I want to go in right now, but it's kind of like for the stretch, I'll just kind of play it like, if you didn't notice that, you can right click and solo these things. And just one click into solo. And then I'll demonstrate a little bit more. When I load a loop, it should be obvious to see, like there could be potentially some issues when layering the loops. Yeah, so nothing is playing with, let me start with parallel first. And you'll see it might take a while for it to actually load. See, you see how it's out of sync? That's the issue. It should have fixed that way, but if you stop it, then it'll sync again. But That's the issue. Yeah, so that's the issue that I was trying to solve. That's actually performing way worse than I was expecting. But see how, like, well, number one, if you stop it and play, it'll go back and sync for the most part. Because the delay is going to cause it to be out of sync. But when you go to the loop send, it's much more tighter. It's much more impact. So mostly for loops, use the loop one. There's no need to deal with the keeping things in sync and the rhythms. Alright, so let's see. Is there anything else? I kind of just want to cover the basics of some things that might trip people up really quickly. So that's like the parallel series, the loops. That's probably the biggest issue. So yeah, there's a master that has release. These things for the samples. Oh, and then the trigger modes. Let's go with mitigate. Or number one right there. I was just I'm just in standalone mode, so I don't have to actually go there every single time I'm testing it. It's kind of annoying to kind of just create and draw this and kind of do that. But like in the real world, when people are actually making songs in the DAW, then that's actually the preferred way to kind of do that. So apologies if I kind of just have it set it on default right there. That's probably not the best to do. I should absolutely change that. So let's see here. So there are multiple trigger modes here. Let's load a different sample. Let's go back just to let's make a pluck or something so we can actually hear something, create a decent melody with that. And I'm sorry, let's actually load a multi-sample in a loop. So yeah, I'm just going to start it all from scratch here. So okay, so let's just now test out the different trigger modes. It's a standalone. If you click standalone, it'll only play the one thing. So let's load multi-samples. And then let's switch the mode to mitigate and increase the polyphony to 8. So that's actually pretty cool right there. And we can also resize the plugin, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's actually a really cool effect. So that's the beautiful thing. Like essentially what's going on is like we're triggering MIDI. We're treating it like a regular sampler, but this is becoming like an effect engine itself. So it's playing over the entire length of the sample itself. So however many bars this is of the original sample, it's going to overlap that with the melody itself. So that's a really interesting effect. Right now it's acting like an insert effect, even though it's still a sampler. It's acting as an insert effect on top of its own sampler, if that makes sense. It might be a little convoluted, but nonetheless, that's what's going on. And like now that I'm thinking about it, I can probably extend this. So maybe have an option to like increase the loop size, decrease the loop size, but that'll have to happen after the developer challenge is finished. Okay, so is there anything else that I want to do? Yes, I think I want to explain the harmonic engine. That's absolutely important because there's lots of tricky things going on. In fact, there's a lot of tricky things going on in like everything. So let me just, actually I want to save this preset because that's pretty cool. Plux, rhythm. Oh, and there's one more thing. There's also an elastic mode as well. Alright, so now we're in standalone mode again. It's just easier to demonstrate that. And I want to go over to the harmonic tab and explain what's actually going on here. So right now it's in loop mode, or yeah, so right now it's just generating its own harmonic. So the idea, if you see it right in the top corner right here, it says one harmonic. So when the line is at the top, it's just going to generate one harmonic. You can control the spread of that. Or the spread, you need more. But then all the way at the bottom, it goes all the way up to 8 harmonics. That's one harmonics, but you can hear with the effect if you just draw it down, more harmonics are being generated. So between 1 and 8. So if you just move the bar down, you see now there's 2 harmonics being generated, 2 octaves, 3, 4. Alright, so there's 8. 7, 8. So that's the idea right there. But right now, that's not doing anything. That's just you can just draw interesting kind of things right there, and to like loop on top of other like pad sounds. For instance, like this. So that's what's going on there. But that's just a harmonic generator. That's it. That's all it's doing is just generating harmonics. It's not responding to the actual transients of the thing. For that, you need to click on this mode, sample trigger, and then it will respond to the harmonics or to the transients. Kind of glitchy there a little bit. It's smoother on when their transients are more actually pronounced, like if you load a loop or whatnot, but I'm kind of tempted to do that. I guess I'll do that real quickly. Just something a little bit easier to kind of more easily discernible that is responding to the transient, because it basically just fades after the transient fades. The shorter one kind of just here. We can control the spread parameter itself here, right click. This is one of the few ones that has additional options. So add show spread curve, which is controlling and tweaking this right here. So this is what happens, like this is where the magic really is. So keep in mind this thing, like, let me kind of just clear this real quick. So yeah, the clear should actually clear this thing too, so I gotta fix that. So keep in mind, the spread is going to be pronounced the more harmonics that are being generated, right? So I'll begin with scratch and demonstrate that. So if there's only one harmonics, then the spread isn't going to do much. Do I need to load the sample again? So you see how the spread is right there? Watch what happens when we actually increase the number of harmonics in that region. So you got to juggle those two things. The more deeper this is, the more pronounced the spread knob is going to have. So just keep that in mind. Yeah. And let's see. So that's kind of what's going on there with the harmonics. But a lot of these, for instance, the LFO, let's load like a vocal sample or something like that, and we'll see what's going on here. I kind of just dialed in the sweet spot for this. And it was like, forget anything else. Forget any other applications. I only want to load a vocal sample and just have that spungle-like weird type of effects. And I'll play it right now. Even though I know I have better vocals elsewhere, I just, for this quick... So what's going on is clearly just look up in the top right here and it'll let you know where the starting point is. So the starting point's at 7 hertz right there. That's a fast kind of vibrato itself. Then all the way down to 22 kind of hertz. That's kind of the sweet spot for that effect. At some point I might extend the range of that so it can actually be practical and besides this narrow range. But it's a quick way to add vibrato. Especially with all types. And let's see what else here. Maybe there might be a couple, or for the grains, dial in the sweet spots. Like I usually, the top is kind of like, goes slowly down. Like, we're increasing like the gap between the segments. Right here, the grain time, I think. So grain off, grain dry. No, that's not exactly it. So the grain time is being triggered. The top, I'm not really sure what it is, but it's pretty small. But usually, the sweet spot is like right around here. I'm just gonna no rhyme, no reason, just a sweet spot for vocals. Like so begin right here. That's a tip and trick. And let's see what else here. The spring. Okay, so what's going on here with the spring verb? It's the black hole reverb effect where it's when you move the reverb decay, then it kind of like, I'm just gonna play it. It sounds like it's slowing down or emotion. It's kind of like has that weird trippy effect. That's like the starting off point, and then just to kind of like make a little drop here, and you'll see like the intended effect. Like it drops in pitch, and like that's kind of the idea. So it's like it's dry, and then the wet is like a cavernous black hole. So it's kind of like it's controlling the decay time itself in real time, and it has a smooth kind of effect. So it can sound musical. It's a useful effect when you're switching over. It's not like an oversight. Like its intentional goal is to tweak the decay time in real time. So it's like imagine a room that's being shifting and morphing in real time. Like that's the idea. It just has an interesting sound effect. That's the effect in a nutshell right there. And for this one, and also for the delay itself, imagine like a tape delay reverb dub style effect with like the default setting, right? There's no settings. I put no settings in. Like it's unnecessary. It's kind of like I only want this type of effect. Just super high feedback, and you'll see what's going on here. It's kind of like, so it's like a high feedback, and then again, the idea is this curve is controlling the the delay time again. Like the other one, the reverb is the decay time. Now here's the delay time. So it has that interesting effect. So that's clearly like a dub style type of effect, and that's like the intended goal. That's the intended effect I was kind of going for. Like, just give me that effect. Like for a rhythmic type of thing, I don't need a standard delay. Like that's, it can still do that, absolutely. Just for this type of effect, I'm just like, don't give me the normal. I just want something kind of trippy and kind of I don't know, not normal. So, I mean, it can do regular delays too. And let's see here. For the tape, let's see. Of course, it's a turntable thing. So that's cool. And then the repeat is pretty obvious. So, I mean, that's pretty obvious what's going on here. It starts at a half a bar. I could have maybe increased the range from like a full bar, 2 bars, maybe in the future I do that, but for now just, and then it can go all the way up to like 1/256. It says right there, if you look at these like things, that's showing you the range of what the X and Y is, whatever that is. Let's see here. And that's the other thing. So it's like other ones you can kind of just draw in like repetition, the repeat value of 1/32, but this one I kind of want to control. I want a pitch bend curve in that. So if it starts at 132, then it's going to pitch bend down, and it can go to lots of extreme values. So that's pretty cool. And that's pretty interesting or unique as far as I'm concerned. Like I think maybe Isotope has something like that, but most people like the glitch can't do that. He's just very standard in that, but this one has it. So. And then the stretch is the pulse stretch delay. Usually I just set it down right here, and then it's just a blurred kind of wall of sound. But this is a pulse stretch you can actually draw in real time. So it's like, I mean, that's pretty cool. Like that's a really cool effect, actually. Like I love the pulse stretch, but the fact that you can actually draw automation into that and save it as a sample preset, like this is a really cool like advice. Oh, and also the ghost lines, so that way you can see what the other tabs are doing. That's useful in some situations. It looks cool at least. Let's see here, and then the val, of course, is pretty self-explanatory. Nothing really crazy going on. Oh, and this scrape. We'll explore the scrape, and then that's it. I know this is a pretty shaky, long video, but it's like I would love to actually sit down and just write like a 5-minute script or 10, but like I just there's too many things going on right now, so I don't have time to do that. This is definitely a very interesting effect. Let's see here. So the scrape is generating another kind of sample, and it can go all the way up to like FM. So it's very good for like sound effects. Just add another layer onto there. So that's basically it. So yeah, so that hasn't even triggered yet. So that might drive people crazy. Like right now, it's not triggered, so that's annoying, isn't it? Like, so I gotta definitely fix that. There we go. But like, I think it was waiting for it to go through the entire loop to trigger again, even though I set it to launch 1.8. So if you ever see that again, just press stop and play. That'll solve it immediately for now, and then until I can actually address that. T type of thing. If you switch modes, sometimes that goes away. That's another bug I need to fix. Decrease the decay, then it certainly will. But cool. It has some bugs, but hopefully now after watching this, you guys can at least know what to do to escape that headache of just triggering something and not hearing anything play. Like that's the number one thing I'm trying to hopefully alleviate from you guys, so you guys have fun experimenting with this. And plus, there's a whole bunch of tips and tricks and trying just basically some explanation of what's going on with these curved lines, and that's it. Like I've covered basically every single thing that I would want to kind of address here. Yeah, so that's it. All right, praise the Lord.